What does it mean to intercept a pass in football? So the path of the defender crosses the path of the thrown football when there is an interception. In algebra, what are x and y intercepts? Notice both those, they have the same word intercept in them. So in interception in football, path of the defender crosses the path of the thrown football. So for x and y intercepts, they must be crossing the path of something. They must be crossing something. And in fact, what they're crossing is the x and y axes. So intercept is a point where the line or curve passes through the axis of the graph. When a point crosses the x-axis, that point is called an x-intercept. When the point crosses the y-axis, that point is called a y-intercept or vertical intercept. You have this in your notes already. We're going to go ahead and label some x-intercepts and some y-intercepts. So x-intercepts are points where the graph of a function or equation crosses or touches the x-axis of the Cartesian plane. So that's the horizontal axis. You may think of this as a point with a y value of 0. On the x-axis, y equals 0. To find the x-intercepts of an equation, you can let y equal to 0 and solve for x. Right? And as a point, it's written as x0. Right? On the x-axis, y is 0. We can also determine intercepts from the graph. So the and this is in your notes already. The x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. The y-coordinate is always 0. The y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. The x-coordinate is always 0. So on the x-axis, the y-coordinate is 0. On the y-axis, the x-coordinate is 0. This one is not in your notes. What are the x and y intercepts? Right, there is an x-intercept at -4, 0. Right here, the graph crosses the x-axis. Still having some issues with that orientation, man. You even want to reorient the board. So this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. The y-intercept is where the function crosses the y-axis. This one is in your notes. Let's go ahead and identify the x and y intercepts. So right here, the graph crosses the x-axis. This is the x-axis. All right, so the x-intercept is the point 3, 0. This is the y-axis. Right here, the graph crosses, whoa, that doesn't look so good. I'm just going to do that, do this. There we go, now it looks good. Right there, the graph crosses the y-axis, so that is the y-intercept. And that would be the point 0, -3. So x-intercept, y is 0, y-intercept, x is 0. Make sure you've got that labeled on those two intercepts labeled on the graph. All right, next we're going to look at a parabola. All right, so let's identify, and this one's not in your notes, let's identify the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts in the graph. There are two x-intercepts. All right, so -1, 0 is an x-intercept. The graph is crossing the x-axis. Right, there's an x on the x-axis. 3, 0 is an x-intercept. It is where the graph crosses the x-axis. And over here, we have a y-intercept. Right, at 0, -3, the graph crosses the y-axis. There are the x-intercepts and y-intercept. This one's in the notes. Right, there again are two x-intercepts and one y-intercept. Here is one of the x-intercepts. Right, it's where the graph crosses the x-axis. Fix that a little bit. So that is an x-intercept. And the point 1, 2, 3 is negative 3, 0. There's another x-intercept here because the parabola is going to cross the x-axis twice. That's an x-intercept. And that's the point 1, 0. And then here we have the y-intercept. It's where the graph crosses the y-axis, and that's the point 3, 0. And let's label that y-intercept. So there we have labeled the graph with the two x-intercepts and the one y-intercept. And I think this is the last one for x and y-intercepts. All right, so let's go ahead and label. We've got, let's label the x and y-intercepts. Well, there are three x-intercepts. So here is an x-intercept at the point negative 5, 0. There is another x-intercept at the point 2, 0. And finally a third x-intercept at the point 4, 0. And there's just one y-intercept right here, and that, not quite there. That's where my pen was going in the right spot, but where my, come on dot, where my dot ended, oh come on. All right, how about we do that? I think that's still okay. Ah, it's being persnickety, the board. There we go. Okay, the y-intercept is the point 0, 2. Boy, right up the middle is hard to read. I'm going to write it down here. I don't even know how I touched that. It didn't even come close. 0, 2. This board needs a good, whoa. It made 2. Oh, oh wow, crazy. Well, there is a button you can use to keep cloning things, but I don't think I hit it. All right, there's the y-intercept, 0, 2, and it does not want to move. Boy, this board is going to get a good, we're gonna turn it off. Man, just being, I don't want to do the whole video again. All right, I'm gonna try and do this one more time. I don't know what's happening to this board. And we're gonna shut this board down after this video. That's right, board, you're gonna take a nap. And you better wake up well rested. X-intercept, negative 5, 0. X-intercept at 2, 0. X-intercept at 4, 0. And I don't care how bad it looks. We are not going to be dragging the writing down. Looks good enough. Y-intercept at 0, 2. And there we go. All right, so go ahead and label the graph. This point is supposed to be right there on the y-axis, but that's like the best I can do. So I think it still looks okay now that I erased half of it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and bye for now.